What's going on, guys? Welcome back to APR Outdoor Adventures. Today we are going to be replacing the speakers on this 1996 Four Winds Horizon 200 DLX. The speakers are all like they're kind of getting nasty, and the rubber around the edge of the speakers, which you can see now, is completely gone and falling apart. And so we got these Rockville RKL65MBW marine speakers. They have LED lights in them, and they come with black and white grills, so we're going to see what looks best and put them on there. So yeah, if you guys are new here, make sure you go ahead and subscribe, leave a like on the video, leave a comment. We're going to hopefully be putting out a lot of videos this summer, camping, boating, all that different outdoor stuff related. We're going to be putting those videos out this summer, hopefully a good amount of them. So without further ado, let's get a quick sound test on these old speakers, and once we're done with that, then we will go ahead and start replacing those old Maxima speakers with these new Rockvilles.
Got some needles to the face, baby, I don't need no space. Coming closer for a taste, then I'll show you how I make everything just fade away, cause she's like sex, Alright, so real quick, let's look what comes in the box with these Rockvilles. So you'll get a little, watch a video before you use these, the instructions on how to install them, and then you get a template for a cut line. Hopefully we won't have to use this, but there's the diagram for if you do have to cut it. We have two that we're replacing here on the back bench, and then there's the two up in the front. So I have two sets of these. So once you open up the box, you get one speaker. Over here it comes with the white grill on it. Then you have a seal back here that you'll stick down. Here is your LED light controller. We'll go over that later. Comes with two things of speaker wire, and then in the middle here you have black grills, because you can do either white or black. So there's those, and then here's the other speaker on this side. So let's jump in to trying to get these installed. All right, so here we got the old speaker. So the first thing we got to do, we're gonna need to pop off this old grill, and then that exposes our speaker. And here, so you can see where that seal is gone, and then this stuff is just old, and you know, these are from early 96, late 95, so we're gonna definitely need to change these out here. So just gonna use this drill real quick. All right, and then you see our speaker wires back in here. Just gonna remove those. And here's the old speakers. You can see they've done 30 years in this boat. So they've definitely been put through the ringer. So definitely time to replace it. I've done some research. I think this hole is just gonna be a little too small. So let me grab one of the new speakers real quick. All right, so here we have the new speaker. I'm just gonna toss this off to the side for now, since we're not officially installing it. But here you have the new speaker. So if I try to go ahead and put this in here, you can tell it's a little too small, but I think we're hitting on that little bump out right there at the bottom. So maybe I'm gonna try and sand that down with a Dremel, and we're gonna see if we can't get that to fit. If not, then we'll have to sand out a lot more of this hole around here. So let's go ahead and jump into trying to sand down here and see if we can get that fit in. So here I have a Dremel with a rotary sander. And I'm gonna try right here at the bottom to make a notch so that this can slide through, this piece right here. And we're gonna see if that'll do it and allow it to fit. If not, then we might have to go around the whole circle. So let's go ahead and try this real quick. All right, let's see what we get here. Close. Feels like we're getting a little closer. I think I need to actually get some out of the front. All right. Yeah, we'll keep sanding more off here, and then we'll come back to you when we think we got a good fitment. All right, so we got this hole. I think it's pretty good. When we put the speaker on here, we get it and it sits right up against the carpet, so that's what we're working with right there. So we're gonna go ahead and drill out these holes and then move on to the next one. And then we'll do the same thing on the other side, and then we'll wire them up, and then we'll move on to the front, and then we'll test them out on the stereo. So let's drill. Okay, there's that. There's that. Sorry. We're going into carpet, so you get a little on the drill bit there. Okay. Now this top one. All right, now go ahead and take it off. So we'll go ahead and get these all drilled out, and then we will come back and show you guys the exact placement. All right, we got the speaker all installed and screwed in. So now what we're gonna go ahead and do is get to replacing that one, and we're just gonna throw on a time lapse for that, and then we'll see you back here when we are going to wire these up.
I hear you been asking about me, where I've been and where I sleep. It's hard to find me if you really want to. Turns past that takes a cool sign. Same ball cap, same worn boots, trying to outrun the thought of you. But in this town the truth don't stop. You can't live in a town this small. You can change your mind, but not your past. Every mile just feels like moving half. You can change my name in your phone. You can't leave in a town this small. I moved on, but not too.
All right, so we got these speakers installed, and now it's time to wire them up. So what we're actually going to have to do is take the speakers back out. But if you notice, so these right here, these are 16 to 14 gauge. Blue connectors are what were on the old speakers. But if you look here closely, like that is massive for these. And even for this one, super big. And these came with speaker wire. So what we're going to do is chop some off like down here. And I'm going to connect 2 of these male ends onto the speaker wire, and then that will then plug in to the existing speaker wire. And then this is, because honestly the wire's a little short anyways, so we need somewhat of a jumper. So this will be great for that. So let's go ahead and start splicing this in. Alright, so here's the little jumper we have, which will work great back here. So go ahead and peel this apart real quick. Just a little like that.
Prudent 16.
Got some of that. What I'm gonna actually do, since this is so much smaller than that, I'm gonna go ahead and double it up. So I'm gonna take off just a little more down here. That way I have the room to be able to double it up. All right, so now I got these two spliced on there. So now, tricky part is I'm gonna be getting them onto here, but another thing you need to make sure that you look out for is that the red one, you can notice here, there are two different sizes. The red one, the red wire, positive. The clear black one is negative. So red one is gonna have to go onto this orangish blue one up here. And those stock plugs on these boats have this little like line down here at the bottom where they join. You want to take like a small box knife and take those lines off. That way you can get this to fit. We'll cut to a time lapse and I'll see you guys when I finally get these on.
I hear you been asking about me.
All right, so now you can see I got those installed. Now we have these. We'll go ahead and plug these in. See how much better of a fit those are there. All right, now let's head on to the other side. All right, so we got the speakers in the back all hooked up, wired up. They are in, screwed in, ready to go. Alex is up here working on the front speakers. He's got this one over here taken out, and he's working on this one. Just so you know, there are these, if I can get to it, where'd you put them at?
What?
The white surrounds that go on the back of the old speakers. Okay, yeah, so right here, these plastic things sat in the back to protect the speakers from hitting against stuff, since that's a very common area to use stuff. But since the backs of the new ones are enclosed, I honestly don't think these are going to fit anyways. Probably won't use them, but if they will fit, we might go ahead and slap them on. But Alex is going to go ahead and get this taken off, and then we're going to repeat the same steps we did in the back up here, except I have great news for up here. Speakers fit in those holes. So all we got to do is drill some new holes to screw into, and then work gold in. So let's let him get that out, and we'll get all the tools ready up here, and then we'll get to doing what we need to do. All right, so on these Rockville speakers, I think I showed it earlier, but there's this seal, and since we have fiberglass up here, what we're gonna go ahead and do is we're gonna apply this seal. That way, number one, it keeps this cord that's over here for the lights down. Real quick, I'll explain how you do the lights. So if you see here, you have a red cord, a black cord, and a blue cord. So this jumper, it kind of works like an RC bind plug. And if you have the black connected to the blue through the jumper, it automatically goes. But if you have the red connected to the black, it'll be red instead. and then it is activated by base. So
be careful, it does rip easily. This one kind of ripped, so
yeah, it's fine. It's not actually sealing anything. It's just kind of meant to be like a bumper. So
here, let's turn that so we can keep that pushed down. So that needs to just get pushed down a little bit. You just run your finger all the way around. Doesn't have to be perfect. However, we're sealed on there pretty nice.
And then that adds like a bump for when you're hitting waves or whatever. Like it cushions that when you cinch it down too. So nice
now,
to put on the fiberglass. So now we'll go ahead and get the tools so that we can.
And boom, it slides right in.
Drill the holes.
Fits real good.
Yeah.
It'll look great.
Yeah. So we'll just get something. We're gonna do the fiberglass drill holes in a specific way. So I will show you guys, but we're gonna get them marked up first. That way we know exactly what we're doing.
All right, so what we did here was we took this, set it up perfectly straight so that this was perfectly to the bottom, and then we went ahead with this little screwdriver here, poked it through the screw holes, and we tapped it so you could see where it's at.
Made some scrape marks.
Yeah, made some scrape marks, and then we took the Sharpie and marked it. So we've got 1, 2, 3, and 4. So now we know exactly where we need to drill.
And what you want to do if you're going to drill into fiberglass, from what I've read, do it in reverse to make your little sketch or like your little etch. And you can also use some masking tape to keep it from splintering and chipping, which if that happens, then that's what we're going to go ahead and do. But you can see whoever did this at the manufacturer, it was a little rough for them.
And this one right here, yeah, that's a little messed up. And
so we're going to hopefully make this install better, but let's see real quick if we can go reverse and make this a little better. Oh yeah, look at that.
All right, we're gonna go ahead and turn the vacuum on so we don't get fiberglass everywhere. So go ahead and turn the vacuum on, and then be a lot of noise, but you'll see what we're doing. There's one.
So now we're gonna do that step and repeat it for all of them, and we'll be back to you when we're ready to put this in and wire everything up. All right, so we got all these installed up here. We got both speakers wired up, installed, ready to go. We did test them out real quick, and we found that the port side speakers the lights are significantly dim unless you really crank that power up, which distorts it. So good thing I went ahead and bought this brand new Kenwood unit, so that'll be in part 2. But it is currently, it's like 9:45, so we're gonna go ahead and call it quits for the night. We'll come back tomorrow. We will show you the results of what these sound like with the 1995 Kenwood unit, and then we'll go ahead and start swapping that out. I also need to go to Ace and go get some new screws, because the screws that Rockville gives shred like paper. So we're gonna go get some screws like what the old ones were mounted by, and hopefully that'll work a lot better. So we'll pick this back up probably tomorrow afternoon. So we'll see you then. All right, guys, back here for day 2 on the Rockville boat speaker replacement, and here are right here are 3 of the old screws from the white surrounds that went on the back. Those were working pretty good in here compared to the ones that Rockville sent. So what I went to do is I went to Ace and I got 6 just in case. I got they were 8 by 5 by 8s right there, and we're gonna go ahead and use those to screw into our 4 holes there, and we'll do both of the bow speakers. And once we're done with that, we're gonna go ahead and get a test, and then we'll wrap up this video. But stick around for part 2, where we will be slapping in that new Kenwood unit.
Past that takes a cool sign. Same ball cap, same moon boots. Trying to outrun the thought of you, but in the stand the truth don't stop.
All right, so now we got this front speaker, and then if we walk back here, both back ones are installed, wired up, ready to go. So we're gonna get the FM transmitter there hooked up to the stereo, and we will be back with a stereo test.
her rolling up in her black Cadillac. High heel boots and a sexy body full of tat. Rolling up in her black Cadillac, high heel boots and a sexy body full of tats. I see her rolling up in her black Cadillac, high heel boots.
All right, as you can see there's a lot of rattling and very bad signal going on. So what we're gonna go ahead and do is make a part 2 in a separate video. We're gonna put in this 22 watt per speaker output Kenwood KMR M332 BT. We're gonna go ahead and put this into this boat. So make sure you guys stay tuned for the next week for that. Or I don't know if it'll be next week or 2 weeks, but it'll be coming out at some point. But what we've been using as an FM transmitter, it's a Motorola Roadster, probably from 2013. So that combined with a radio from 1995, those two things together, I think is a lot of our problems with the signal. It's an older tuner inside, plus older technology with the equalizer and all that. So I think it's time this boat gets an upgrade anyways. So we're gonna put in that new Kenwood. Real quick before the video ends, actually, we just turned it on. The audio coming through on just basic radio sounds so much more clear than when we used this Motorola Roadster. So honestly, this might have had something to do with it, but we'll let you listen to the speakers real quick at about -20. Here's just raw stereo. All right, now back to what I was saying. But thank you guys for watching this speaker video. If you have any questions about anything we did, changing out these old Maxima speakers here by Payton from 1995 and putting in these new Rockvilles, leave a comment down below and we can answer any questions hopefully that you guys have. If you're having the same problems we had and we didn't cover it, leave a comment and we'll see if we can help you out. But without further ado, that's gonna wrap up this video. We will see you guys in the next one. Thanks for watching.